Okay, continuing with the dry bone in the valley. So the woman told me that when she saw me, always every time she and her daughter moon, they see me and they know that right there and from then that my soul was in the dry bones of the valley, which is in the cemetery. And she, from that time, she know that this is someone that, you know, we should not take for granted. You don't always usually see someone like this, she said. With that now, she said to me that what is going on with me is that they are trying to finish me off, get me out of the picture. So what they're gonna do is do some little cleaning up, but she said we can't really stop these things from coming against you, but we're gonna help ease the pain, make you feel a little lighter as we go through this little process. So I shake my head, you know, and she said that she said a lot of things. She said plenty things. She said that this whole thing in really start with him alone. He just a part of the solution. He just create it more with the whole situation with him, being with him. It was just a part of the process. After that, she told me that I have to light a candle and I must walk around that particular spot where I was sitting. I have to go wrong. There is a where all the candles, like where people come and they will, you know, have to do the thing like what I'm going through and light the candle. You have to do that. So there was this circle I have to go wrong. So I went around, and I think she told me I have to go around that about 3 times, if I could remember, and I was to walk around that. But she told me, she said, listen, you will take a candle, you will light it from one of those candles there, and you will walk around. And when you walk around, and if from the time you walk around, and if your candle out, that means you're in darkness. But if it out, that means you still have some light. You're good. There's still some Christ there. That's what her word was to me. So I did what she told me, and while I'm walking around, I praying in my mind that my candle must not out. My candle never out. And then she told me, now put it down where the rest of candle is. And she said, remember your candle. So I mark it and I put it there. And then she told me take back a seat right where I was and continue to face her. And she continued to tell me what now she's going to do, what is the next process, that she's gonna do some little more cleaning up, where I will have to, when I'm finished here, I will have to walk outside with her, which she will lead, and I will have to take that candle on and put it in like a little hut, where there was this huge statue we call Michael. I have to put it underneath, not underneath his feet, but beside his feet. There was many little hut inside the wall, so I have to put my candle there. And she said, while walking through out of the church building, walking with her, there's a good little way. If the candle out, that means there's trouble. But if it don't out, there is still hope, right? So she explained everything, that when she finished there's gonna take me down in the back, and where I'm gonna have to read Psalm 91 7 times. I will have to go over Psalm 91. That's how I know Psalm 91 like by heart, you know. So I have to recite Psalm 91, and from then now we will have to come back and do another process of this whole thing that she's dealing with us. Now that happened. She said what they were doing. They were doing some cantation and doing some stuff that it will cause, as I said, to rotten me out, and I will die slowly, but in a pain death where I will go in the hospital, coming out, and those kinds of stuff, until eventually I pronounced dead. So because of me praying, and because of she said the reason why the food is not staying down is because of my praying, and because God is there. My inside becomes like a fire. That was her word. She said inside becomes like a fire. Praise becomes like fire inside of you. So that's why you were breaking out, and that's why you can't. Nothing that you eat couldn't stay down your stomach. You only coconut water, and water could stay down your stomach. Nothing. No food couldn't stay down, only the liquid. So that was kind of like God on my behalf, cleansing me. So I did what she said, and then she she stood up, and she said, follow her. So I have to take steps, some nice steps, baby steps, and I follow her outside. Now when we reached to the door of the church to enter outside, all of a sudden rain started to fall. Wind was blowing. I remember thunder was, plenty thing was going on there. Lightning was striking. But all of that, she keeps saying, do not be afraid. Do not let fear enter. Just watch her and follow her. And I began to walk with her. I watch her. I watch my candle. I pray that my candle don't out, because breeze is blowing. I don't want my candle to out. I just want to get over this whole masquerade thing that I'm going through and call it off. So eventually I got to where my candle's supposed to put. I put my candle there, and she shakes her head like this, and she gave a smile, and she said, well done. And then she carried me back. While going back to the church, we reached at the door, the entry of the church, and she says, sit right there. She said, you are not coming in. Now, she said, my daughter's going to deal with you. She's going to take you to the back. She said, you young man, you inside. So it was his turn. And for time as I watching through the window and seeing everything that what I've been through, they're doing. When that woman told him to pick up the candle and light it and go wrong, from the time he light the candle and he take a step, the candle out. And I just shake my head and I said, God, Father, have mercy. And then he went back and he lighted it again. He take another step it out. And he went on like that for like over, it could be for like probably 6 to 7 times. I'm not really remembering, it's so long, but it was a good few times till the lady began to get kind of tired, and you could have seen it on her face, like she just, and eventually it stayed light. He went wrong, he put it down, she sit down and he talked to her, he tell her pick it up back, and that is when he coming out with it. That's when the girl told me, her daughter, now you should step back at the back. And that's when I went at the back. So I didn't know what went on with his own, to getting his own into the hut. I didn't know what play out there. All I know was at the back, and she bring this huge Bible. There were more than one. And she told me that I must sit. She put me in a place where I must sit. And when she tell me sit there, she told me to open the book of Psalm and look for Psalm 91, and I must say Psalm 91 7 times. As I finish, I take two breath in, out, read it again. And I went on like that while going through my second part of reading it again. There's when he come. And I saw they put him to sit down, and they gave him the Bible, and they told him to do the same thing as me. And as we did that, and we went on, that was another pattern and phrase where we had to come back another day. So that day when we finished doing that, they start to explain to us. Now that was her daughter was the one who were explaining to us now that what it is we're going to do now. And that was when she told us that, you know, we have to buy like things like sweets, apple, that I can remember, apple, sweet, and we have to get 2 plates, and we have to get plastic that so that they could you know, fix the plate, wrap it up and stuff like that for us. So we have to get these stuff and bring it back to them. So they tell us, okay, go and get these things. They write it down on a piece of paper and they give it to him and tell him that what we have to get. We have to get things like we call this red lavender. We have to get 2 bottle of two big bottle of red lavender, and we have to bring it. And that is for going through our bath. So we live there, and while we're going, you know, we were discussing, and I was very upset because I was like, what kind of witchcraft is this I getting myself into again? You know, and I was like quarreling in the vehicle with him, and it's like, I thought you tell me it's no obia thing, and now it's all about sweets and all these kind of long thing. And then he was like, I didn't know, I never know this would have occurred. So I was kind of angry, you know, but going through the process, we went and we get these sweets, we get the apple, we get some grapes, I believe, but it was more apple and more sweets. And we get the plate, we get the plastic to wrap over it and stuff like that. And we had was to get we have to get garbage bag. We have to get garbage bag. So we always have to get all these things. We went and get all these things. And I remember while we getting these things, we take it back to them. Because they say as soon as we get it, bring it back to them. We went and we take it back to them, and we leave it with them, and they told us to come back a day after that. They told us to come back. So that day after that, we have us to go back, but this time we have us to go back a little more early. You know, we have to go back like it was all around when it's still people still in the bed all around. We have to leave the house all around 4 o'clock. We have to leave and go down there to get to this place at their place so that they could perform whatever they're doing with us. When we got there, immediately plate was already fixed and ready. and there were more than one bathroom. When we got there, there was another gentleman was there, and this gentleman, I don't know what was his cause, what he there for, but there was another gentleman was there. So there were more than one bathroom outside. So he had a plate as well, and we all went into the bathroom. But before we go into the bathroom, this was the lecture they gave us, that the daughter said that we will be bathing with these fruits, and we cannot allow the fruits to fall. None should not touch the ground. If any touch the ground, our life is in state. We in trouble. So I began to get scared, because I was like, what is this now I got myself into? So she told us that you will take, every time you pick up a certain handful, you rubbing it on your skin like a soap, and you have to call the name of this God. For me, I was not comfortable, because I was only knowing the name of Jesus Christ. I did not know no other name. So I listened to her, and she said, and when you rub it on your skin, you call this name 3 times every time you pick up, and you rub all parts of your body until the plate is finished. Every time you pick up and you rub, not let one single drop. You pour it into the garbage bag. When you finish, you tie the bag and you leave it right there, and you put on your clothes and you step out, and you will sit there, and then you will say the Psalms, and then we will prepare to go on the next journey. And while I was in that bathroom, I was just calling on the name Jesus Christ. As I pick up, I rub, Jesus Christ, heal me, heal me, heal me. I never called that name. So to say what is the name, it was some God of the water. But I never did mention that name. I mentioned the name Jesus Christ, because that's the only name I feel comfortable with. So I did what I did. I never told anyone. I don't know what he did, which of course I believe he called that name. And we both went out. We all went out, waiting on the mother of the church to get herself in order for we to head down to the beach, which is going quite up Toko side. And we have us now like hit down there now, where we will go in on the final part of our journey. And it was a long piece of drive, but when she said we have us to leave before the sunrise. The sun must catch us on the way, and it was like that. So while we're going, the sun began to hit, and we end up into a place where she say, okay, this is comfortable. We end up there, and that is where they started to tell us like, okay, this is what is going to go on with us. They're going to start with me first. The 2 of them is going to stand back and watch, and I was the first one that they deal with, because they say in my case I was innocent in the whole game, so they have us to deal with me first. So they had another gentleman with him, and he had the shovel. He had cocaine broom. They had cocaine broom, they had a shovel and all these type of things. And they call me, they tell me to lie down, and they draw me. The guy drew me with the cutlass. He draw my body as I lie down there, and then he tell me to get up, and she told me to go back, follow her daughter, and she will instruct me what I should do. And then all I remember, I see the digging and the digging deep. So I now asking my fiance, what are they doing? Are they digging a grave to put me in? And he was like, I don't know. I say, see, you usually cause of this, and I was angry. So right there and then, to me, I see this as witchcraft, because it's my first time, and I didn't see anything like this is of God. But I was going along, and so they're digging this hole as my size of me. They're digging this hole, and they went like, when he go into it, he went into it, he jumped into it, and when he jumped in, it was deep as like he was taller than me. So when he went in, it was like somewhere to his, probably you can say a little way to his thigh, somewhere there. That was how deep it was. And there was the hand, everything, that dig out in like in a body, not like in a straight form. Like how my foot straight, my hand is like this, I have to have it like this. So they dig it out like that, my head structure, everything. And then they called me back, and they told me to go down inside of there. And when I go down in there now, I remember we have to bring some coins. I cannot remember how much coins we have to bring, but he was to have his portion and I was to have my portion as well. So I had my portion, and that woman had it holding for me, or the daughter. So when I went down in the hole, she told, that is when it get a little crazy. She said, pray like you never prayed before in your life. So I get scared. She said, pray. And the guy was like, yes, pray like you never prayed before in your life. You will chant the 91 Psalm. And say it fast as you can. And don't stop until we finish. And then they start to beat me with the broom. Beat me while I'm in the hole, and they passing the broom, and the woman was saying in the Psalm 91, he that dwelleth in a secret place, and while she was doing that, he was beating all four corners where I was lying in, and going around me, as though like in an anti-wise clock. And I think was like the period of 7 times she continued with this, and then they pulled me out. He pulled me out, and when they pulled me out, thinking that was the end of it, she gave me the coin and told me I must step out into the sea backwards. So I was like, how far am I going? And she was like, you will go until the water reach you this height. And when you reach, as you step in out into the sea, you will throw the coin, which I think was 5 cents. You throw in the coin backwards. And you call in this name. As I said, I don't know that name because I didn't keep it in my mind to keep it retained there, because I never understand that name. So while I was going back, as I keep going, I saying it quietly, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So they can't know what I'm saying. And I keep stepping out. My step now has to be like a feet. So it was deep, wide steps going backwards. While I'm going backwards now, as I reach where I reach to this height, then now I throw the coins, and then now I turn now, and where I turn now, I have to turn where I see the sun, and I have to call that name, and then now I have to walk out backwards out of that water. When I walk out of that water now, the daughter will take me to a quiet part, because it's just we alone there on that beach. She will take me behind a tree and tell me I have to change my clothes, And everything that I have on, because we have to walk with change of clothes. But if I didn't know that I have to leave my clothes there, I want to wear my best clothes. But anyhow, I have to take off all my clothes from my bra, underwear, everything, and I have to leave it right there where I change my clothes. So when now I'm going to pick up, she was like, no, you can't pick it up. So I said, who will pick it up? She said, no. It stays right there. I said, so how do you mean? I'm not taking it home? Because they bathed me down with red lavender while I'm in that hole. So the clothes all stain up. So she was like, no, you can't take that clothes back home with you. You leave it and the sea will take it. And this is where I know as my life now that they are really the marine kingdom. You know, but as I say, because of I growing up in my past, growing up with my grandmother, and knowing Jesus Christ as my Lord, personal Lord and Savior, that was still there. In times of trouble, I call upon His name, and that is when I know that this is deeper than I thought. So I was not comfortable with my clothes being left there. So she make sure I dress properly and everything, and then she took me where my fiance and this guy was standing watching on the scene. Then they deal with him because the gentleman was last. As I say, we don't know what went on with him, but they call my fiance and I was standing there. So I watched everything that they did to me, they did to him, and that was it. Now with all of that, they took us away because they're dealing with the guy. The daughter now take us to the car, our car, and she speak with us. And then afterwards the mom came and she turned and her words was like telling him that, okay, we were not able to stop these entities from coming to interfere with her. But what we can do is that if you all could bring, telling him that if he could bring back 2 rings, and they will put a guard in it, and we keep it on our finger, and once we keep it there, these things will not able to come into us. It will just be there. So I was not totally down with that, but I couldn't say nothing at that point there. So he said okay, and then the daughter said, listen to me, I'm giving you a short warning, Mr. Man. We know this lady. We just see she when we mourn. This is a clean woman. This is a woman of God. She just don't know herself. She's powerful. She don't know herself yet. When she know herself, she will have to stay in God, grounded in God. She can't live that life no more. So it's all about you. So the day you go back and you have sex with your people and come back to her, we will know. And from the time we know that, we will release all lesion on you. And that is where it went down. So I just want to end this part, and we will get to the another part where we are coming out of the graveyard. Yeah? So it was nice being here again. God bless.